You've built up a basic drum beat, or you're pulling a loop from a pack, and now you want to add bass and chords, but you need inspiration. Well, this week in the Loft, I'm going to show you how I'm using Push 3's Melodic Sequencer to quickly come up with chord ideas, chord rhythms, and their variations in just 5 minutes. Stay with me. Welcome to 5 Loft, where the process is the story. I'm Al Clark. You know, building out bass and chord ideas in genres that are unfamiliar to us can be really challenging. I've been working in house music for the past few months, and those piano rhythms, they were super unfamiliar to me as a guitar player. And this is where Push 3's Melodic Sequencer comes in. It allows us to see quickly and intuitively what those rhythms look like, and then very quickly be able to change them on the fly in order to create our own original patterns. So, let's dive in. Okay, fantastic. So, we have a quarter note grid going. We'll open up a new MIDI clip. Here's our kick, and we'll do 4 on the floor. Here's our clap. That's on the 2 and the 4. We'll open up to an 1/8 note grid, and remember the up hats go in between the kicks. And we've got that classic house groove going. Okay, I'm going to go over here to my session view, and I'm going to turn that off for a second, because what we're going to do is we'll go back to note view, and let's go over to our piano and take a look at this melodic sequencer. But first, let's start in this view. This view is called the melodic 64 notes. And why? Because we've got 64 notes. The cool thing is here, if I go to my scale button, you can see I'm in A minor. Okay, what does that mean? That means that these home notes are all A's. And since I'm in minor, what that means is that this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay? We're not going to get too much into theory here, but just know that all of these notes are in A minor. So what that means is no wrong notes. So, as a guitar player, we like to name the notes in terms of numbers. So this is note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1 or 8. Okay, they're the same. You can build chords off of this. Chords, or basic triads, 3-note chords, use the 1, the 3, 4, and the 5. So look at this little triangle that I can create here. That becomes an A minor chord. You know this sound. Right? So I can also go up the scale. No wrong notes. Fantastic. Now let's take a look at what this melodic sequencer is going to give us. So I'm going to hit my layout button, and actually, let's get out of the scale mode here. I'm going to go to this layout here. Here's the melodic sequencer, but that's really not the one we're going to use. We're going to use melodic sequencer plus 32 notes. And you can see here that the bottom part of it looks like that other view. Here's my chords. The top view looks like what the drum sequencer looks like. So what that means is that I can choose a chord down here and then sequence it up here. That's where the magic happens. That's where I can quickly and easily try out different rhythms, and down here try out different chords and see what they sound like against the drum beat. Watch what I'm talking about here. Instead of using this basic triad, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to go 1, the octave, a 2, and a 5. That gives me like a sus2 chord. Here we go. Let's see what this sounds like. So let's put this on 8ths, and I'm going to create a new MIDI track by holding down the layout button and hitting 1 here. Let's assign these chords to where they would be on the kick drum. So 4 on the floor in a sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're hitting on the downbeat. Let's hear what that sounds like when we go to and launch the drums. Okay, see how they're all lining up. Beautiful. That's a nice way to look at things, but it's kind of boring. Let's bust out to a 16th note grid. Okay, so I've got it 4 on the floor there, and I'm going to go to a 16th note grid, and you can see here, here's my 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try to put this on 8th notes, like on the hat. So I'm going to go here and here and here and here. That's exactly the pattern that the hi-hats are doing. So let's take a look at what this sounds like. So I'm going to come to here. Just okay. Watch this. What if we took away the downbeats and we just used the offbeats? Okay, now you got something a little bit hotter, but I still don't like it. So here's what we're going to do. Follow me here. If these are 8th notes, that means that they're like every other 16th note, right? I got 16th notes. So if we want to look at it, you see that there's a space in between the 8th notes. If I change this to where there's 2 spaces in between the 8th notes, that's what's called a dotted 8th. You're adding a 16th note in there, or 1.5 times the length. So watch what this sounds like. If I put 2 16th notes in between each one of these, and the last one we'll just use an 8th. Listen to the way this sounds now. Oh yeah, that's that house sound, that dotted 8th rhythm. That's the house sound. Now watch this. Let's go to our bass, okay? We'll go to the Melodic Sequencer, to our bass. We'll drop it down an octave. And now we'll make these straight 8ths. Oh yeah, that feels good. In fact, I'll be right back. Let me get the guitar. Well, that's it for this week in the Loft. I really hope you enjoyed it. Next week, I want to show you how I get the guitar into Ableton Live and my method of live looping. See you next week.